The Breton Civil War, 1347 to 1353, was a significant regional conflict that played a crucial role in the broader context of the Hundred Years' War. This civil war was fought for control of the Duchy of Brittany between two rival factions, both of whom were backed by external powers, the French and the English. The war further destabilized France during its struggle with England and had lasting implications for the balance of power in northwestern France. Background and causes. The Breton Civil War was triggered by a succession crisis in Brittany following the death of John III, Duke of Brittany in 1341. John's heir, Joanna of Penthièvre, was a minor, and her claim to the duchy was contested by John de Montfort, her cousin. This division of loyalties between the two factions sparked the conflict. The Montfort faction, led by Jean de Montfort, who was married to Joanna of Penthièvre, this faction was backed by England. Edward III of England supported the Montforts as part of his broader strategy to destabilize France during the Hundred Years' War. The Blois faction, led by Charles of Blois, the French-backed faction was supported by King Philip VI of France. Charles of Blois, married to Jean of Penthièvre, the daughter of the late Duke John III, laid claim to the duchy, believing it to be rightfully his through his wife. Key events of the Civil War. The Breton Civil War was marked by a series of battles, sieges, and shifting alliances, with both sides vying for control of key fortresses and cities in Brittany. Battle of Saint-Aubin-du-Cormier, 1347. This decisive battle resulted in a victory for Charles of Blois. The French-backed forces crushed the Montfort faction and solidified Charles's control over much of Brittany. However, the Montforts were not defeated, and their resistance continued. Siege of Vannes, 1342 to 1343. Both sides fought over control of the key city of Vannes. While the Montfort faction was temporarily defeated, the siege led to ongoing instability in the region, with both factions engaging in numerous raids and skirmishes. Siege of Hennebont, 1347. The Montfort faction successfully defended the town of Hennebont against a French siege, which marked a turning point in the war. The English-backed Montforts gained the upper hand, supported by the arrival of English reinforcements. The role of the Hundred Years' War. The Breton Civil War was deeply intertwined with the broader conflict between England and France. Both factions sought to use Brittany as a pawn in the larger struggle for control of French territory. The English-backed Montforts, in particular, saw the war as an opportunity to disrupt French strength and divert resources from the Hundred Years' War. End of the conflict and Treaty of Guérande, 1365. The Breton Civil War effectively ended in 1353 when Charles of Blois was killed, and the Treaty of Guérande in 1365 officially ended the fighting. The treaty recognized John de Montfort as the Duke of Brittany, but it placed Brittany under the suzerainty of the French crown. This settlement was a significant victory for the English, as it ensured continued influence in the region. Legacy. The Breton Civil War had lasting implications for both Brittany and the wider Hundred Years' War. While it did not result in the full annexation of Brittany by either France or England, the war left a deep mark on the region, leading to political instability and further division. The eventual dominance of the Montforts helped solidify English influence in Brittany for several years, though the region would remain a contested area in the ongoing conflict between the two nations. The Breton Civil War is a reminder of how local conflicts within medieval Europe were often entangled with larger dynastic and territorial struggles, particularly during the Hundred Years' War.